Welcome. Another beautiful day here in the Philippines. And today, I'm actually going to be visiting a tourist site, one of the most famous and visited tourist sites here in Manila. And this is Intramuros. Intramuros is a Spanish word for walled city, as this whole entire city is walled off by 6-meter high walls. And this was built at the beginning of the Spanish colonization of the Philippines here in Manila. And you can see we have old artifacts from around 300 years ago, Chinese scriptures, or possibly Japanese, as they did rule here at one point. So what I'm going to do today is I will be taking you guys around Intramuros just to see some of the sites over here, and I'll just be giving you guys a little bit of information about them. Maybe we can talk to some locals and yeah, just check out this whole entire place. This is my first day here, first day seeing this absolute beauty of a place. I believe this area, well, it takes about 4 to 5 hours to walk around. I don't know if we'll be walking around the whole thing, but then afterwards I will take you guys to another important piece of Filipino history here, and that will be Rizal Park, right across the street from Intramuros. Have everyone taking selfies. Maybe we'll start with going up top. This place is absolutely beautiful, and you can tell by the architecture from the pictures I've seen. Once we get more into town, or more into Intramuros, I will show you guys. But just like my previous Spain videos, you can tell that, you know, this was built by the Spanish because of its architecture. These walls were built to fend off any defenders or invaders, trying to invade this city. So what we will do now, this beautiful courtyard down here, what we will do now is continue on. Kamusta?
You good?
You good? Okay lang. What's your name?
My name's Cal.
Kelp? Cal.
Yep.
And what are you doing today? Are you touring Intramuros or are you just hanging out?
We're just hanging out. We already done to our class.
Oh, class.
Yep.
Can you tell me, or maybe tell the camera, anything interesting about Intramuros? This is important in Filipino history, right?
So Intramuros is one of the most historical places here in Manila, and 300 years ago or 500 years ago, Spanish colonized to Filipino, and this was the most fort of our Spanish people, and they've been here for almost 300 years. And this place was like I said, it was the most historical place here. You can see the Fort Santiago over there, and when you walk on that way, you will see that the churches, which is the most oldest church here in the Manila, and there's a lot of fun and interesting places here. You can also go to
Rizal Park.
Yeah, you can also go to the park. You can also go to.
What's your favorite part about Intramuros, if you have one?
Here at this is one of my most favorite places here in Intramuros, because I always go here when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
So I was going here, relaxing. The air was so refreshing, and everything was good. If I go here when I was sad, I feel so chill, good, and I feel so better.
the Filipino flag is way over there in the background, and that's actually the tallest flagpole in this country. This fort right here, Baluartillo de San Jose, was actually a fort built for the American General MacArthur, which I found that to be very interesting. I tried to walk into this white building over here, which was an important building during the 15th century, but it's actually closed right now, so we won't be able to go in there. And this area right here that I'm at was actually declared a national monument in 1951, and then a national treasure in 2014. So it's very interesting. And as you can see, this wall down here through that gate lines the whole entire fort. So kind of like if you go back in my Spain videos and you see I think we were in maybe Toledo or Sevilla, you will notice that the forts are sort of built the same, how they line the perimeters of the wall. It's because they need the soldiers to be able to run up here very quickly to defend their area, just like in Spain. So it's very interesting. This area is actually has a whole square meters of 670,000 square meters. So it's pretty big. It could take you a very long time to walk around this whole entire fortress. They say about 4 to 5 hours. So we will continue on enjoying our little walk, and you can see how high the walls are. It's built with a moat around it, obviously to protect themselves from invaders. And actually to the east of me is I believe it's called the River Pasig, and then to the west is the Manila Bay. So this area was placed here strategically, just as they do every fort. They're placed in strategic locations to make it more difficult for the invaders to come and overtake, their area. Constructed as a component of the seaside defense of Intramuros, forms part of the fortifications of Intramuros, which were declared national monument in 1951. I just gave you guys some of that information. Also, I will let you know, as you can see, you can just walk around, you can sit down, you can hang out. It's pretty crazy to think you could just hang out and chill in an old Spanish fortress, but this area is very, very important to the Philippines, and very historical in remembering Spanish influence in the Philippines. So that's why this area is one of the most visited places here in Manila. And it's free to get in. You can just walk right into the city and you can walk around. So very beautiful. Inside of this city, actually, back in 1571, when this was built by Miguel de Lopez Legazpi, I believe his name was. You can correct me down in the comments. Well, he was, the ruler of this area. Well, actually, he built this, excuse me. Inside of Intramuros was actually, this was the seat cabinet of Manila. Like this was the capital right here. And this area was known for its political, like hierarchy, its schools, its libraries, and its churches. So as you can see, this architecture over here is just like something you would see in Spain. The Spanish influence here is very, very big. So you have life going on. I'm gonna continue walking on, and once we get to something more exciting, I'll make sure I share with you guys. I just wanted to show you a little piece of Intramuros, a little tourist attraction that I haven't been to yet while being here. Here we are, coming up on another very important piece of Intramuros. This is actually the Cathedral of Manila Basilica. This church has been visited by popes, visited by a lot of famous people here in the world and in the religious world. You can see we have a statue here in the center. And this church was built in 1581, and in 1982 it actually suffered from an earthquake, and it was damaged. The front of it was damaged severely, and it was rebuilt in 1941, I believe it was, is when they completed the building of this. So dedicated to the Virgin Mary under the title of Immaculate Conception, 1571, elevated as the bishopric of Pope Gregory, 1578, then raised as an archbishop by Pope Clement the 1595, first, second, third, and seventh cathedrals on this site. After this church was actually destroyed, even in World War II, this church was bombed heavily, mercilessly actually, and they actually had to keep rebuilding it, and they actually wanted to, I don't know if I could film in here, but I'm gonna try. They actually wanted to try to relocate this church to Mandaluyong, but due to the efforts of a very brave man, they kept the church here in its place. So let's put our stuff through security and then go in. Salamat. So yeah, as I was saying, they wanted to relocate this church to Mandaluyong, as a matter of fact, but that ended up not happening.
No wearing.
Oh, no hat? Okay, sorry. So no wearing a hat inside the church. I should have known that. But here we are at the back. So this is very nice. And actually, right here it says, it was only through the efforts of Archbishop Rufio Santos that the cathedral was able to reign again in its rightful seat. So this is here where it originally was built. These are the archbishops of Manila. So it seems like this also is a very important piece of history here in the Philippines. It's very surreal when you come to places like this in other parts of the world and you see, these things. It's always interesting to also visit even the the tourist spots. And I just think I mentioned this earlier, but this was badly bombed in the Battle of the Liberation in 1945, and which was in World War II, and then it became rebuilt, like I said, and this is what we are seeing today. So I'll just take you guys around for a little tour so you can see what it's like inside. Beautiful stained glass windows, similar to the Sagrada Familia. Not as big, still very big, but not as big. Architecture is just absolutely immaculate. It's amazing. And there's St. Peter. Actually, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments, I believe every Sunday, it's either this church or Binondo Church that there's a wedding here. So, which is crazy. Actually, yeah, no, that's true. The other day I came over here on a Sunday and there was a wedding going on. And the people were obviously dressed very, very nice. But check this out. Everything is so grand. Everything is very beautiful in here. You got your black marble. It's beautiful. And the people keep these grounds clean, like very, very nice. The inside is very clean and the outside is very clean. But what I'm noticing about Intramuros, which I explained earlier, this was the area where the government was ruling from. So there's a lot of government buildings out here, a lot of churches, and a lot of schools. I could be wrong. You can correct me in the comments, but some of the other sites that I wanted to see were closed for renovation. So I think we only saw the outside. We only saw the outside of the walls. We saw where General McCarthy's fort was. We're seeing the Manila Cathedral right now, and then I think I'm going to take you to one more spot after this. If there are actually two more, excuse me, I'll take you to two more spots after this. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick small tour of Intramuros and my experience here and what I'm seeing. So here we are. It's very grand, very beautiful. I definitely suggest that you guys come see. Just know that there are guides outside everywhere, and you can either get a guide or, I mean, you don't really have to. There's signs out there where you can read things. You can also look up things on the internet and do the research yourself. But check out these doors. Wow. During the war, this area was considered the munitions area for Manila, like the army here. So they were actually storing all of their weapons and everything inside of this fort, and they would just grab their weapons and then head out of here and go off into battle. So the fort is very nice. In the center over there, where those tents are, as you can see, there's like vendors and people selling things and whatnot, just as you will find at like any main tourist attraction, tourist location. So just people trying to make a buck. Right here, the main fortress of Intramuros, established by Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, which is actually the guy who I was telling you earlier built this in 1571. So yeah, right here it says burned down during the siege, Chinese pirate Ling Fang in 1574, reconstructed local, and the Emperor of Japan 1942 during the Second World War II declared a national shrine and a national monument. So here's the here's the exit right here, or actually this is going into maybe somewhere else that's part of the fort, which is nice. So you have a museum over here. I think this is the museum of Plaza de Armas, Central Plaza within Fort Santiago, open space for military drills, marches, and arms. Monument to Jose Rizal, national hero martyr, erected in this site. So that's actually where I'm going to be going. Hello. That's actually where I'm going to be taking you guys next, is to Rizal Park, and I'll be giving you some information on what's important about that area. The thing about where I'm at right now in Intramuros is every place that you can walk into, like in the beginning of this walking area, like a lot of the buildings were closed for renovation. So, you know, which is okay, but it's kind of throws you off. So originally built with military bricks, this is military barracks, 1593. Site of the prison cell, very interesting, of the national war hero over here. So this man fought for his country. And he died for his country. And I'll take you to the area where the execution happened here in a little bit. So the Raja Sulaiman Theater, constructed as a military barracks and Cuarto Escuela, a school for petty officers, 18th century, site of the chapel cell where Jose Rizal, hero martyr, spent his final evening prior of his execution, 30th December 1896. Destroyed during the Second World War, ruins converted to an outdoor theater known as the Raja Sulaiman Theater in 1967. So this was a theater, maybe where entertainment and things were held, or before that, Jose Rizal's cell, where he spent his last night. So this is very interesting, super surreal to be here too as well. Let's see if we can, I don't believe we can, but let's see if we can cut through here. If not, we'll go around and I'll take you guys to the waterfront and then I'll take you to the park. Oh, maybe this was his cell right here. Yeah, it looks like we can't go through there. Maybe this was his cell right here. I believe that is a statue representation of Dr. Jose Rizal. So very interesting. So just outside of the Jose Rizal, just outside of his cell, as you can see, we have the port over here, and this port was actually used for the escape of the Lieutenant Governor Simon de Anda in 1762 to 1768 during the 7 Years' War. He escaped right through here after the siege of Intramuros from the British Army. So it seems he ran out from here, maybe got on a ship or a boat or something and headed down the riverway. As you can see, this is where we are right now. It's actually pretty nice over here. So this is where he made his grand escape to. So you have people on boats over there, maybe fishing or something of the sort. So I'm gonna continue on. We'll continue walking this way. This fort is actually really, really big. You can see these are the walls that were constructed back in 1571. So they probably weren't lying when they said it's about a 4 to 5 hour walk around this entire complex, which, I mean, 670,000 square meters, of course, why wouldn't it be? But we'll go over here, we'll take a journey, and there's one other place I want to go to. It's the 14 Cannons. Excuse me, there's two other places. It's like the 14 Cannons. I believe it's just a defense position. No? Okay, turn around. I believe it's just a defense position where there are cannons up on top, just to show you how, you know, they would have defended their position from invaders and things like that back in the 15th century. From there, if I don't go there, from there I will take you guys to the end of this tour at Rizal Park, which hosts the biggest flagpole in the Philippines. I showed you in an earlier clip, but from a distance. I'll show you guys close up this time, so let's go. So before coming to Intramuros, I also was reading about the dark and hollow history. Check out this passageway. The dark and hollow history. And of this place, and this right here is a dungeon that held the dissidents who were enemies of the state and who didn't want to conform. This was built in 1599, and as you can see, these are Filipinos, and they were held in here to suffer and to die. And actually at one point, the Japanese, when they occupied this area, they left 600 Filipino soldiers in here, evacuating survivors from Intramuros, 1945. So I guess women and children were in here as well. And actually they found 600 people in here suffocated and starved to death. So the Japanese were also very, very fierce, very, very vicious. Their army, they slaughtered, killed people. They even ate human flesh, human remains, things like that. So can you imagine? And already in here now it's humid, so I couldn't imagine in the 1500s, you know, being here and probably not having any type of circulation of any sort. To think that this is an area where 600 bodies were found is unreal. It's very, very surreal as well. So the dungeon. This did not prevent prisoners from actually dying while incarcerated within. However, in 1945, following the liberation of Manila During the Second World War, the U.S. Army discovered 600 decomposing corpses. So, wow. Very, very sad history here in Intramuros. Okay. We'll continue on, and I think now it's about time I take you guys to, we've already seen this from down below. And just like in Vietnam, they probably had these cages up here to look down at the prisoners. So now I think it's time to take you guys to the park. So we'll continue on. It's quite hot out here. This is the biggest flagpole here in the country of the Philippines. And right now I am in Rizal Park. And this park is very important to Filipino culture and the people of the Philippines. As you can see, there's a guard standing right here. I believe this might be where the remains of Dr. Jose Rizal is, and he was actually a national hero here in the Philippines, as they called him a martyr. And the significance of this park is that on December 30th, 1896, like I told you guys previously in the last clips in Intramuros, Dr. Jose Rizal was executed, and he was executed by Filipino soldiers who were loyal to the Spanish army. And the interesting thing about his execution was that there were Spanish soldiers behind the Filipino soldiers just in case they couldn't pull the trigger. So he was executed right over here. I'll take you guys right over there in a second, but I just want to show you the monument and the statues that the Filipino government has put here. And as you can see, they have armed soldiers there. I don't know if it's 24/7, but when I came here earlier, they were there as well. So basically, what happened was after December 30th, 1896, when Jose Rizal was executed, that's what really fanned the flames for the people of the Philippines to rise up and start a revolution against the Spanish kingdom. And that's eventually when they ended up reclaiming Manila, or this area. And then during the American wartime here in the 1914 is when they built this monument for Dr. Rizal, or Dr. Jose Rizal, excuse me. And so this place is actually very interesting. It's like I said earlier, it's very historical and important to Filipino culture and Spanish culture as well, and to show you the influence of the Spanish culture here in the Philippines. So right now what I'll do is I'll take you over this little bridge right here and show you the monument of Dr. Rizal. And this wall right here were some of his last words. Where I showed you in his prison cell earlier, I'm assuming is possibly where he wrote his last words. Maybe days before, maybe days after, but this says his last farewell. So I'll take you over here, and as you can see, it's not similar, but it's sort of like the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. You know, they gave him a nice shrine. I believe his remains are somewhere over here as well, but this is the depiction of his execution. And as you can see in the front, they have the Filipino soldiers pointing their guns at him, and then in the back they have the Spanish soldiers ready to shoot the Filipinos if they also do not, execute Dr. Jose Rizal. So interesting, very interesting here. We have more statues. As you can see, he's being held prisoner by this depiction right here. We'll get up close so you guys can see. And they did a very nice job at making this monument. So continue on. Everyone comes here for their little Instagram pictures and things like that, but so yeah, we'll take you around. And actually this is considered the largest urban park here in Asia. Over here, there's a Chinese garden. And like I said, this park, you know, was officially named in honor of his name, and the monument and his remains that serve as like this park's like focal point. So a lot of people come here, as you can see. Even I think like families and whatnot come to just chill on a nice day. But also right here is another monument of an execution point. So this place is very interesting and it's very nice. I should probably walk towards the sun so the camera's not blurred out. But yeah, guys, that was my little tour of Intramuros and also Rizal Park here in Manila. And it's been a very long day. I don't know, if you want to tour Intramuros, it's 1,400 pesos, 1,400 pesos. So USD, that's like I don't know, around $20 or so. And you can see they keep the park well maintained. They keep it very, very well maintained. It's very nice here. That is for sure. This park is also known as, hello, no salamat. This park is also known as Luneta Park. So if you guys are looking for it on the map, if you're looking for it on Google Maps, it'll be under Rizal Park. So it's very nice. There's actually a Palestinian protests going on over here. I went over there a little bit ago to check it out, but truthfully I don't think I was welcomed. But it's okay. Anyways, guys, you know, I just wanted to show you my experience at Intramuros, give you a small history. This park right here is actually where it ended, where like everything ended after the execution of Dr. Jose Rizal. This is where it ended. Hello, kamusta? Yeah, so this is where it ended, and then that's what I said earlier, like fueled the flames for the Philippines to start a revolution against the Spanish kingdom. And then the Americans came and they ruled here for about 48 years, and then the Japanese tried to rule, or they did for a little bit. And then after that, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe 1946 is when, maybe around January, possibly, is when like the Philippines or Manila gained its independence, you know, from everyone else. So, very interesting day. Hello. Very interesting day here at the park in Intramuros. I probably didn't give you the best tour. Energy was kind of low today, but you know what? Nonetheless, I came, I showed you some sights, I showed you my experience, I gave you small history, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining me for this video. Thank you for the likes, the subs, the shares. I appreciate all the support. And this is my last day in the Philippines. Next time you guys see me, I will be in a new country. So, thank you for everything. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ciao.